Hello, the Ratkanos has always come right at you with this week's weekly recap from April 27 to May 1st. Let's go! And continue where we left off on last week's Final Fantasy 9 stream. We enter Dolly, do a little thingies, and we go outside again to grind a bit for Garnet because she was running quite some levels behind. After that we go to the underground of Dolly, and that's where we save Phoebe. After that we can take control of Steiner, and eventually we find like this barrel, we poke it, and the other three people are in there and like, oh no, why you stop me? And that's where we go into the Black World's number 2 fight. After beating him, we head onto the ship, which is supposedly headed to Lindblom, but as we know, it's going to Alexandria. This is where we meet Black Wolf's number 3. After beating him, we have finally arrived in Lindblom, and apparently the region has become an Uglop because of some sort of curse. After that, Zidane heads to a bar, and there is where we meet Freya, our new party member. And also in the first time of the game, we can finally synthesize, make some nice weapons, and we grind up the weapon abilities of 2 of the weapons that we just got, so we can finally use the best weapon that we had available at that point. And that's where we end it on. And Thursday, continuing with where we left off yesterday, is where we continued with the Festival of the Hunt. We let Freya win for the ring because I think that was the best optional that we could get at that point. And followed by that, we got drugged by Garnet of some sleeping weed that was given to her by Zidane. And this is where the group split up in 2 separate groups. We head out to the field and we visit Marsh with, I believe it was Zidane, Vivi, and Freya. This is where we gain Quina and we go play a little Catch the Frog minigame. And that's where we head off to the Chocobo Forest afterwards, play that a bit, get some treasure, and we head to Gizmaluk's grotto. As always, we work through there, we help the Mughals, and we face Gizmaluk, some boss. And that's where the party switches to Steiner and Garnet, who are now at the south gate, trying to improvise a couple of things. And unless we switch back to the other party, and this is where we head to Bermucia. We work through there, we train up some abilities, and we face Beatrix. Beatrix, of course, kicks our ass, as always. And this is where the party switches back to Garnet, and she meets up with Cinna and Marcus, and in the train, Marcus joins up with the party, and we once again fight Black Wolf's number 3, and this is where we ended off on the Thursdays. And continue on Friday where we left off yesterday. We go to Trino, and this is where we buy some auction items after fighting Black Wolf's number 3, and we steal Super Soft, or better said, we are given it by Dr. Todd, an old very familiar of Garnet. This is where we grind in the underground, get some bunch of abilities and levels, and we fight some sort of a snake boss. This is where we finally arrive into Alexandria, where the group is captured. This is where the party switches back to Zidane, Freya, Vivi, and Quina. And yeah, what we do after this is pretty much going all the way to Clara, and that's where a lot of stuff happens. We climb up, and this Antillian boss goes free, and Freya finally meets Fradley again, who apparently has lost his memories and doesn't remember Freya at all. After this, a little ceremony happens which causes the sandstorm to fail actually. Which after that, a little cutscene happens where we see Garnet being hypnotized and she uses her Elodians, and that's where Clara is invaded by Braun and her army. We once again fight Beatrix, and after the fight, we flee to the ship using the Black Mage teleport, and we see Clea being destroyed by Odin, one of Garnet's Elodians. Of course, after that, we see Steiner and Marx escape, or better said, we play the minigame to help them escape the little cage they're in. And this is where the party meets up, with Zidane, Steiner, Vivi, and Freya. We finally free Garnet after fighting Zori and Thorn, these annoying little bastards. And this is where Beatrix round 3 happens. After the fight, Beatrix finally learns the truth, and she starts helping us, and we escape to the Garnet, and we fight down our snake, and we end up pretty much near a place where Ramu is, and this is where we call it a night. And continuing last week, where we continue the Ocarina of Time, the 3 Heart Challenge. We end up going back to the Spirit Temple for the first time, and we work through there, and we get the Silver Gauntlets as a small link. And we also see Nabooru being captured, who we were supposed to get the Silver Gauntlets for. We go back to Temple of Time, we become Adult Link, we head back, we work through there, and once again, we receive an item called the Mirror Shield. At one point or another, we fight Twin Rover, which actually was no problem at all, and we end up going to Ganon's Tower, which was no problems until we lost our Goron Tunic to one of those Edie things. I believe they're called Lightlags. So yeah, we break the golden sculptural rule of not getting rewards, and we end up getting a bigger wallet, get more money, and buy a new Goron's Tunic. Once again, we fight Ganon, and we had a few problems, but later beat him without a problem. We flee the tower, we face Final Ganon, which we actually died once on. We give it another go, we finally go to Ganon again, and we beat him and Thus, ending the 3 Heart Challenge on this beautiful, beautiful game. And then for the Sundays, where we continue Final Fantasy IX once more, we continue Pinnacle Rocks where we left off last time to find the 5 fragments of Ramuh. We have to put a little story together, which apparently in the end doesn't even matter at all. We received a parrot to finally learn Ramuh, the first new summon that's going to be learned by Garnet, of course, and that's where Braun attacks Lindblum. We go there a bit, explore a bit, stock up on the items that we need, and we head to a fossil room. We get attacked by Lonnie, this assassin that was sent after us by Braun, which was a hell of a piece of cake. And that's where we work through Fossil Room, we reach the outer continent, and that's where we end up in Conde Petit, where we learn of the existence of a Black Mage Village. We head to the Black Mage Village, and there's a bunch of small conversations, like a little of Zidane's backstory, and the thing that Vivi are currently feeling because he's hella confused. Well, after heading back to Conde Petit, apparently Zidane and Garnet have to get married to actually be able to go to the sanctuary. After doing that, we meet our new member called Eco, and we lose Queen of her a bit, and this is where we find a giant ogre boss. We find the village of the Lost Summoner, Eco makes food for us, and in that meantime, we're gonna be doing a bit of grinding, and I mean a lot of grinding. After that, Eco joins our party, and we head for the Eva tree. And of course, that was this week's weekly recap. If you liked the video, feel free to give me a thumbs up. Would you like to see more, or do you want to see more, hit up the subscribe button. And if you want to see the last week's recap, click on the video down below. And if you would like to see my stream sometimes, click on the Twitch thing on the left and click there and go to my channel, follow me there and get a notification when I go live. And as always, it's Ratkanos and I am out. I'll see you guys on next week's recap.